Alright, I'm going to try a video how to put this front end loader back on. See how it turns out. I'm not sure if the camera's going to catch all the angles, so you're going to see what's happening. But give it a shot. Let me go get the motor. Alright, so you pull up center as you can. You got to eyeball these arm booms with the little cup right here. There's one on each side. Kind of make sure that's centered up as best you can. You know, the bucket on this tractor is light enough where you can kind of pick it up and shove it around by hand if you have to. But the closer you get it, the better it'll be. So, pulled in, shut the tractor off. We want to bleed any of the pressure from the lines when we go to put these quick disconnects on. If you don't bleed all that pressure off, then quick disconnect may not grab. I just loop, or may not pop because it'll be under pressure. I just loop my hose arm over the side. I think if you're doing your neighbor Bill's, he's got a different setup. He doesn't have individual lines. He has like one cassette arm, for lack of a better term, that everything connects to all in one fell swoop. I see a lot of videos online of people replacing that system, reverting back to the individual lines, just because that cassette, when it works, is great, but because you're trying to connect 4 lines all simultaneously, it can be a little prone to leakage. I've seen quite a few videos where the system works great when it shows up from the dealership, and then the first time customer tries to take the arm off and then reinstall it, and they've got leaks and they can't get it resolved, no matter how many times they disassemble and reassemble the connection. So I personally like the individual hose setup because you really can't mess it up. Each connection is one by one. You can see them, you can feel them positively clicking in. So it's, in my mind, a better setup. Even though you have 4 connections to make instead of 1, it's just better. But that's my opinion. So anyway, again, if you're helping Bill with his, you might run into some difficulty with his setup with a single connector. But I think he can convert it individual lines if he so chose to. So obviously you can't see it from that side, but I'm just reconnecting each of the 4 lines to their ports on the tractor, and then making sure that they're clipped in to try to lift back up on them, make sure they don't pull up. And then the little dust covers, I just like to clip them back on themselves, the male and the female end back on themselves, so that they kind of minimize how much dirt that they can accumulate when not in use. Alright, so now the arm is reconnected to the hydraulics on the tractor. So now what we're going to do is start the tractor up. I'm just going to explain it now because once it's running you won't be able to hear me. But I will use the arms here to articulate these in and out and tilt the boom at the end to bring this down back into the cradle. When I get it lined up just right, this pinhole will line up with this receiver hole and I'll be able to reinstall that little slide pin. So that's what's going to happen. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to talk you through it when I start this up, but you'll hopefully be able to see and figure it out. So that's all it. You kind of just move the lever around and look at what's happening with these arms, and you kind of figure out how to get them to line back up again. That's it. Once the pins are in, you're good to go. The only other thing I'm going to do is, you saw me put the little kickstand back in. Again, I think Bill's works a little bit differently. I like this setup. It's way simpler, but regardless. Last thing I'm going to do is back this out of the car hut here, and I'm going to cycle the rams to their full extent, all the way extended, all the way retracted, both sets of rams. I'm going to do that a few times. Even though these are dry brake connections, there's probably a little bit of air that's been entrained from braking and reattaching the connection. So by cycling everything like that, I'm going to pull all that air out of the system and ensure that we have 100% liquid in the lines. Is what you want. And then I'm good to go. Then if you ever get any snow this winter, I can put my little snowplow blade on the front and put her to good use. So hopefully that helps explain a little bit of the process. Again, if you're ever helping Bill, or I think your tractor works very similarly, if you ever want to disconnect your front loader arm for whatever reason, hopefully this helps.